had a comment on one of my previous blog posts over on LinkedIn. Michael Gibson said, "I know you explored it a little in the first part, but it might be worth exploring what you mean by structure. I think folks reading this may interpret it narrowly and misunderstand." This is a fair point, and one I hadn't considered in any great detail. So I thought I'd spend a few moments discussing what I mean by structure and the context of that structure in an organization. Structure is the underlying framework that defines how an organization functions. It is more than just reporting lines or organizational charts. It determines how decisions are made, how information flows, and how power is distributed. Every organization, regardless of size or industry, operates within a structure that shapes its ability to adapt, innovate, and execute strategy effectively. The role of structure in organizational behavior. The way an organization is structured impacts its efficiency, agility, and resilience. A well-designed structure clarifies roles and responsibilities, ensures accountability, and enables effective collaboration. Conversely, a rigid or misaligned structure can slow decision-making, create bottlenecks, and stifle innovation. Structural choices influence not only operational effectiveness, but also an organization's long-term sustainability. Organizational theorists such as Henry Mintzberg have examined how structural elements, hierarchy, specialization, formalization, and centralization, define how work is coordinated. Similarly, Gareth Morgan has described structure as an invisible force that reflects and reinforces power dynamics, shaping how people interact and how decisions are made. These perspectives highlight that structure is not a passive design choice, but an active determinant of organizational behavior. Structure as a predictor of organizational success. A company's structure serves as a predictor of its future performance. Organizations with flexible, decentralized structures tend to be more innovative, as they empower teams to collaborate and respond quickly to market changes. In contrast, those with rigid, hierarchical structures often struggle with agility, as decisions must pass through multiple layers of approval. Structural design also affects employee engagement, shaping whether individuals feel empowered and autonomous or constrained by bureaucracy. Keynes' law, how structure shapes power and innovation. Keynes' law states that the structure of an organization dictates the distribution of power, decision-making authority, and the organization's capacity for innovation or adaptation. This reinforces the idea that structure is not merely an operational concern, but a strategic imperative. Companies with centralized hierarchies, such as traditional financial institutions or government agencies, often experience slower decision-making processes, limiting their ability to respond to emerging challenges. In contrast, organizations that adopt decentralized or cross-functional structures, such as those used by technology firms and modern product teams, enable greater autonomy, fostering continuous improvement and faster execution. Too often, organizations attempt to implement new strategies or cultural initiatives without first addressing structural limitations. Change efforts frequently fail not because of poor strategy, but because the existing structure does not support the intended transformation. Whether an organization is trying to improve agility, increase innovation, or enhance decision-making, the structure must align with these objectives to ensure lasting success. Structure is not static. It must evolve alongside an organization's goals and external environment. Leaders who understand this can shape their organizations to be more adaptable and resilient. By evaluating how decisions are made, how teams collaborate, and where power resides, organizations can create structures that enable, not inhibit, growth and transformation. Ultimately, structure is the foundation upon which all organizational success is built. Next week, I'm good to be looking at what happens when an organization doesn't align their structure with their strategy. I'll use one of my favorite examples of how things can go badly wrong. If you're familiar with the name Longhorn, you'll know where my next blog post is going.